What is economics?
Economics is the study of how individuals, businesses, governments, and societies allocate scarce resources to satisfy unlimited wants. It examines production, distribution, and consumption of goods and services.
What is scarcity?
Scarcity refers to the fundamental economic problem that resources are limited while human wants are unlimited, forcing choices about resource allocation.
Define opportunity cost.
Opportunity cost is the value of the next best alternative foregone when making a choice. It highlights the trade-offs inherent in decision-making.
What is the difference between positive and normative economics?
Positive economics describes what is using facts and testable statements, while normative economics involves what ought to be based on opinions and value judgments.
Distinguish between microeconomics and macroeconomics.
Microeconomics studies individual markets, households, and firms, while macroeconomics examines the economy as a whole, including growth, inflation, and unemployment.
What is a production possibility frontier, PPF?
A PPF is a curve showing the maximum possible output combinations of two goods or services an economy can produce with available resources and technology. Points inside indicate inefficiency, outside are unattainable.
What is the law of demand?
The law of demand states that, ceteris paribus, as the price of a good rises, the quantity demanded falls, illustrated by a downward-sloping demand curve.
What factors shift the demand curve?
Changes in income, tastes, prices of related goods, substitutes/complements, expectations, or number of buyers shift the demand curve. Price changes cause movement along the curve.
Describe the supply curve.
The supply curve shows the quantity of a good producers are willing to sell at different prices, typically upward sloping due to higher incentives at higher prices.
What is the law of supply?
The law of supply states that, ceteris paribus, as the price of a good rises, the quantity supplied increases.
What factors shift the supply curve?
Changes in input prices, technology, number of sellers, expectations, or government policies, taxes/subsidies, shift the supply curve. Price changes cause movement along it.
Define market equilibrium.
Market equilibrium occurs where supply equals demand, determining the equilibrium price and quantity with no shortage or surplus.
What is a price ceiling?
A price ceiling is a legal maximum price set below equilibrium, often causing shortages as quantity demanded exceeds quantity supplied.
What is a price floor?
A price floor is a legal minimum price set above equilibrium, often causing surpluses as quantity supplied exceeds quantity demanded, like minimum wage.
What is consumer surplus?
Consumer surplus is the difference between what consumers are willing to pay and what they actually pay, represented by the area above the equilibrium price and below the demand curve.
What is producer surplus?
Producer surplus is the difference between what producers receive and their minimum willingness to sell, shown by the area below the equilibrium price and above the supply curve.
Define price elasticity of demand.
Price elasticity of demand measures responsiveness of quantity demanded to a price change, % delta QD/% delta P. Elastic if 1, inelastic if 1, unit if equals 1.
What is income elasticity of demand?
Income elasticity of demand measures how quantity demanded responds to income changes, positive for normal goods, negative for inferior goods.
What is cross-price elasticity of demand?
Cross-price elasticity measures how quantity demanded of one good responds to price changes in another, positive for substitutes, negative for complements.
Describe perfect competition.
Perfect competition features many buyers/sellers, identical products, free entry/exit, perfect information. Firms are price takers earning zero economic profit long run.
What is a monopoly?
A monopoly is a market with one seller, high barriers to entry, price-setting power. It produces less and charges more than competitive markets.
Define oligopoly.
An oligopoly has few interdependent sellers dominating the market, often leading to collusion or strategic behavior like price wars.
What is monopolistic competition?
Monopolistic competition involves many firms selling differentiated products with free entry, short-run profits possible, but zero long-run economic profit.
What is gross domestic product, GDP?
GDP measures the total market value of all final goods and services produced within a country's borders in a given period.
Distinguish nominal GDP from real GDP.
Nominal GDP uses current prices, real GDP adjusts for inflation using base year prices to measure actual output changes.
What are the three methods to calculate GDP?
GDP can be calculated via expenditure, C plus I plus G plus NX, income, wages plus profits plus rents plus interest, or production, value added at each stage.
Define unemployment rate.
The unemployment rate is the percentage of the labor force without jobs but actively seeking work.
What are the types of unemployment?
Types include frictional, job transitions, structural, skill mismatches, and cyclical, economic downturns.
What is the natural rate of unemployment?
The natural rate is frictional plus structural unemployment at full employment, excluding cyclical effects.
What is inflation?
Inflation is a sustained increase in the general price level of goods and services over time, eroding purchasing power.
Define Consumer Price Index, CPI.
CPI measures the average change in prices paid by urban consumers for a market basket of goods and services.
What causes demand pull inflation?
Demand pull inflation occurs when aggregate demand exceeds supply, pulling prices up, often from increased spending.
What is cost push inflation?
Cost push inflation arises from rising production costs, e.g., wages, oil, shifting supply left, increasing prices.
Describe the Phillips curve.
The Phillips curve shows an inverse short-run relationship between unemployment and inflation rates.
What is fiscal policy?
Fiscal policy involves government spending and taxation to influence the economy, managed by Congress and the executive.
What is expansionary fiscal policy?
Expansionary fiscal policy increases spending or cuts taxes to boost aggregate demand during recessions.
What is contractionary fiscal policy?
Contractionary fiscal policy decreases spending or raises taxes to cool an overheating economy and curb inflation.
Define monetary policy.
Monetary policy is the central bank's actions to control money supply and interest rates to achieve goals like stable prices and full employment.
What is the role of the Federal Reserve?
The Federal Reserve conducts U.S. monetary policy, supervises banks, maintains financial stability, and provides banking services.
What are the tools of monetary policy?
Tools include open market operations, buy-sell bonds, discount rate, and reserve requirements to influence money supply and interest rates.
What is aggregate demand, AD?
Aggregate demand is total spending on goods/services at different price levels. AD equals C plus I plus G plus NX.
What is aggregate supply, AS?
Aggregate supply shows total output firms produce at different price levels. Short run AS slopes up, long run is vertical.
Describe business cycles.
Business cycles are fluctuations in economic activity, expansion, peak, contraction, recession, trough.
What is comparative advantage?
Comparative advantage is the ability to produce a good at a lower opportunity cost than others, basis for beneficial trade.
Distinguish absolute advantage from comparative.
Absolute advantage is producing more with same resources. Comparative focuses on lower opportunity cost.
What is absolute advantage?
Absolute advantage occurs when a country produces more of a good using the same resources than another.
What determines exchange rates in floating systems?
In floating exchange rates, supply and demand for currencies determine value, influenced by trade, interest rates, and speculation.
What are externalities?
Externalities are unintended side effects of production/consumption on third parties, positive benefits or negative costs.
What are public goods?
Public goods are non-excludable and non-rivalrous, like national defense. Markets underprovide them, requiring government intervention.
Explain the tragedy of the commons.
The tragedy of the commons occurs when individuals overuse shared resources, e.g., fisheries, due to no private incentives to conserve.
What is marginal analysis?
Marginal analysis compares marginal benefits and costs of decisions. Rational choices occur where MB equals MC.
Define utility in economics.
Utility measures satisfaction from consuming goods. Consumers maximize it subject to budget constraints.
What is diminishing marginal utility?
Diminishing marginal utility states that additional units of a good yield less extra satisfaction as consumption increases.